On Wednesday, China test-fired an intercontinental ballistic missile for the first time in decades. China stated that it launched the ICBM carrying a dummy warhead into the Pacific Ocean. Now, this is rare. China's nuclear weapons tests usually take place domestically. This is the first time since the 1980s, in fact, that China launched an ICBM into international waters. Remember, ICBM is a ballistic missile with a range greater than 5,500 kilometers. It is primarily designed to carry nuclear weapons. And naturally, it raised international concerns about China's nuclear buildup. And it has also put the spotlight on China's rocket force. Tonight, on Gravitas Deep Dive, we tell you all about China's rocket force. According to China's Defense Ministry, it was the PLA's rocket force that launched the ICBM as part of a routine arrangement of the rocket force's annual military training.
The Ministry of National Defense has issued a news release stating that at 8:44 a.m. today, the rocket force of the Chinese People Liberation Army successfully launched an intercontinental ballistic missile with a simulated training warhead into the relevant high seas of the Pacific Ocean, which accurately landed in the predetermined sea area. The missile launch was a routine arrangement for annual military training in line with international law and practice and was not directed against any particular country or target.
Have a look at this map now. This is how far Chinese missiles can reach, meaning all American bases in the Asia-Pacific, including Guam, are within range of precision missiles from the Chinese mainland. The question is, who is responsible for this? A secretive Chinese military unit, the PLA's rocket force. In fact, China's rocket force arsenal is regarded as the crown jewel of the Chinese army in recent years. The rocket force has test-launched more ballistic missiles than the rest of the world combined. It controls one of the largest and most diverse land-based missile forces in the world. Not much is known about the rocket force, but Western news agencies do say that the PLA rocket force oversees both conventional as well as nuclear missiles for China. In fact, China has repeatedly increased its missile arsenal. And this, you see, is a challenge for the US. America considers this as its main threat in the region, in fact, and its greatest security challenge in the long term. The Xi Jinping government has tasked this unit with the country's highest military objective. Last year, it said the rocket forces chief and his deputy were replaced in a major shake-up of the elite forces leadership. And this was after they were not seen in public for months. The two officers who replaced them had not previously served in the force. China's nuclear forces and military have been undergoing rapid modernization for that matter. This is in line with President Xi Jinping's goal of having a world-class military by 2049. China's nuclear buildup is directly in line with its expanded view of the use of nuclear weapons. And analysts say that China's nuclear strategy has gradually evolved from a policy of minimal deterrence to a more active posture of limited deterrence. China is also constantly upgrading, modernizing, expanding nuclear arsenal. Reports speculate that China's nuclear arsenal may even be larger than what it publicly claims. The conventional arm of the rocket force is the largest ground-based missile force in the world, by the way. It has conventionally armed ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, anti-ship missiles. These are enough to attack every US surface combatant vessel in the South China Sea. Not just that, the rocket force has been elevated from second artillery force to a full service equivalent to the Army, Navy and the Air Force. It shows China's increased reliance on missile forces at the operational and strategic levels. But what really is the rocket force's main focus, you ask? As per Western experts, it is Taiwan and the South China Sea. But reports also say that it maintains capabilities against the Korean Peninsula, India, Russia, and the United States. Sure, China's growing missile arsenal has not yet been proven in a real-world battle, but Washington has come to view China as a rival, determined to displace the US in the region. In fact, the Pentagon is now scrambling for new weapons and strategies to counter the PLA's rocket arsenal. China is not really keeping its long-range strike capability a secret, after all. It is advertising its ability to deliver long-range strikes. It basically sends a signal that China is expanding control over vast swathes of the South China Sea around Taiwan and the East China Sea. Upon close monitoring of China's numerous test firings of missiles, US military officials are convinced China's rocket force is a genuine threat. And the question is the US prepared for the China missile challenge? Is the world prepared for it? To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.